Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'aventure? Ah, monsieur le président, un pauvre qui vote ou celui qui a rendu pauvre. Si on était bien au pays, est-ce qu'on allait prendre la route de l'étranger? Ah, monsieur le président, l'Assemblée y a lieu. Vraiment. Au Sénat y a lieu. Wonderful. À la présidence y a lieu. Dans tout le gouvernement y a que des vieux, des vieux, des vieux, des vieux prennent le chemin de la limite pour devenir des esclavos. Les jeunes prennent la route du désert pour entrer à l'Europe. Hi. Good day to the beautiful people of the Cameroons. Good day to my beautiful people of British Cameroons and the beautiful people of La République du Cameroon, the people that they had their independence on the 1st of January 1960. Ladies and gentlemen, today I've come to ponder about why is it that no presidential candidate in the La République election is addressing certain issues, pertinent issues. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lisingen. Ladies and gentlemen, when there is a presidential election, you want to vote for somebody because they have something different. They want to change something different, whether it's health, whether it's economic, whether it's taxation, whether it's judiciary, whether it's environment, whether it's forestry, whether it's fishery, whether it's transport, whether it's policing. I can go on and on. That's why you want to measure them. You even love to see a presidential debate, to see different people who are aspiring to become president of a country, to come and tell you, why should you vote for me? But ladies and gentlemen, I still see debate in the Cameroons. People are still doing personality cult, politics of personality cult. They are not addressing the issues of the Cameroons. That's why most of them are afraid to have a debate with the leader of British Cameroon National Party, myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndive Lisingen. I always put personality outside politics because people are different. And most of the people, some of them who are aspiring to become candidates in the presidential election, Mr. Biya have already trashed them. Whether the election is free and fair, we cannot be repeating the same thing with the same people. Averagely, for the last 7 elections, averagely Mr. Biya have had 70%. Then the next person maybe is coming with 14%. So what have changed? That the same people, they still want to be presidential candidate. I know most of them. Some of them have been my lecturer. Yes, I can love you as a lecturer. Some of them have been my classmate. I know that. But do you have that ideology? Are you serious that you want to be a president of a country? Then tell us what you want. You might be lucky. The leader of British Cameroon National Party might endorse you. But unfortunately, these people, they are doing the same thing like Mr. Biya. You cannot be Mr. Biya. Mr. Biya knows what he's doing. He's good at it. If you want to be like Mr. Biya, you cannot have that debate with British Cameroon National Party. Then you cannot win because you cannot be Jesus. You cannot copy Mandela. You cannot copy Malcolm. Every person is unique. Mr. Biya have mastered what he's doing. And all of you, the so-called presidential candidates, you are behaving like Mr. Biya. British Cameroon National Party is observing. I don't understand whether most of the political actors in Cameroon are deliberately politically illiterate or egocentric, because most of them, they watch European election, they watch debate in France, in Britain, in America, all over the world, in South America. Politicians, they debate. They want to tell you, let the people see why I am better than A or B. But in the Cameroons, most of them, they cannot even debate. If Mr. Biya don't want to debate, come together, let's debate. That will bring something new in the political scenario in the Cameroons. But if most of you, you're afraid to debate with British Cameroon National Party because you cannot answer the question, because you cannot solve or have a panacea of what we are facing in the Cameroons. I often see people in the Cameroons, they come and talk about other political parties. Oh, maybe Kanto should do this. Maybe Cabral Libi should do this. Ladies and gentlemen, there is something called party politics. If you are not a member of that political party, your opinion doesn't count. If you want to be part of a political party, you join a political party and be part of that policy making committee, that you put your own ideology, then you sell it to the voters. That's how it works. Unfortunately, in the Cameroons, people don't contest or primaries within party. They say Mr. Biya is a natural candidate. I don't know if somebody should be a natural candidate in a democracy. People should contest within their own party. But nobody does that. If you look at all the political parties in the Cameroons, most leaders in their party have been leaders for about approximately the old party more than 30 years. Mr. Biya, Bello Buba, SDF was the same. They hand over to another person. Chiruma, late Daikole Daisala. All of them, you see them. That's why we have so many political parties in the Cameroons, because when people create political party, they stay there for 40 years as leaders. If I join a political party as a young man, I want to climb the ladder. I want to be, maybe one day I want to be the leader of that political party. Or maybe I want to be a president. That's why you join politics. You don't join politics to be only a councillor or a member of parliament. If you enter politics, you're eyeing the trophy, the biggest trophy, maybe the president or the prime minister of the country. So you don't expect young people to go and join CPDM. Then one person will be president of CPDM or chairman of the party for 50 years. So there's no hope. Bello Buba will be there from eternity. Chiruma will be there from time immemorial. Cabral Libi wants to be in his own party too forever and ever. So that's why people create a lot of political parties. I wouldn't like to join any political party in the Cameroons other than British Cameroon National Party, because if I join you, the leader of the party will be there for the next 50 years. So I have no hopes. I have no ambition to climb the ladder. People join political party in the Western world. First, they want to be a member of parliament. Next, they start eyeing to be a minister. Next, they start eyeing to be the prime minister. That is why people join political party. But in the Cameroon, we don't seem to know. People will say, let opposition come together. If you're left or right, if you believe in conservative and I believe in socialism, we are opposition. How do we come together? We cannot come together because we don't have the same policy or political ideology. Political party that they can come together is because they have the same political ideology. So ladies and gentlemen, when people say they want to be presidential candidate, the first thing, these people, I'm not going to say this, for almost over 60 years, most of these political actors, they don't talk about the Anglophone problem. They don't. It is part of our problem. Even in Chechnya, Putin talk about Chechnya, the problem there. In Britain, they had a problem in Northern Ireland, they have to talk about it. If you aspire to be a leader or president of a country, then you cannot address the Anglophone problem, then you are not fit to be a president or a leader. Most people will say federalism. To us, in British Cameroon National Party, federalism will not solve the British Cameroon, British Cameroonian problem. Federalism will not solve it. The problem is, federalism is about transfer of power. The same with decentralization. So if they give you power, then they don't recognize the fact that British Cameroon was a country that joined La République du Cameroon. So the problem will still be there. So ladies and gentlemen, the solution, in accordance to the manifesto and policies of British Cameroon National Party, is first of all, we must recognize that two states that came together, that two countries that came together. Once as we say, yes, we recognize those two countries, then we can talk about federalism now. We can talk about decentralization now. And decentralization should go to all the ethnicities. People should be able to practice their custom and tradition. I'm so surprised that I went to school in the Cameroons. I was never taught in my mother tongue, one of the ethnicity. Somebody will say, oh, there are so many languages, it doesn't matter. They study German in Nguakele when I was there, Spanish, foreign languages. Then you don't study your indigenous language. That's indigenous colonization. There's nothing wrong whether there's 250 languages. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong with the people of Fako to be studying Mokwe, Bakwe, their traditional language? What is wrong with Mancom people of Bafut? What is wrong with There's nothing wrong with that. It is an option. We study a lot of things. Right back our days in primary school, secondary school, mathematics, French, English, geography, history. Indigenous language should be in the syllabus. If it's in Mancom, it should be there. If it's in Fako, it should be there. If it's in Manu, their language should be there. What is wrong with that? So you want to extinct your heritage because we have 250 languages. That's not a reason. That's colonizing us. Insofar I can speak English, it doesn't mean I cannot speak my own indigenous language. So ladies and gentlemen, as I said earlier, the objective of this party political broadcast is everybody who is sounding that they want to be presidential candidate, they are doing what they call politics of personality court. In other words, I call it, maybe it's a beauty contest. If it was a beauty contest, I'm sure it would have been easier for me. But politics is not about beauty contest. So far, among all the candidates that have been standing for the beauty contest, Mr. Bia is outstanding. Insofar as he's old, he's a handsome man. So because what I see, you're doing a beauty contest. You're not doing presidential election. Because presidential election is about the economy, it's about the health system, it's about our hospitals, it's about our electricity, it's about pipe-on water, it's about roads, it's about deep sea port, it's about ring road. We have to scrutinize and hold the CPDM, chop people, the money, government, into account. How come that CPDM have been lying for more than 30 years about deep sea port? How come that CPDM have been lying about ring road for more than 30 years? So you have a president who is a liar. You have chop people, their money, militants who are liars. So we cannot continue to allow liars to be running our country. If you look, the amount of people that have been in prison and the ones that have not been tried in connection to cases like Martinez, Zogo, Wazizi, and a host of others, you will know the CPDM is a criminal syndicate. Because you use the name government doesn't mean you're not a criminal. If you set, how do they call it? Is it set in Cameroon? If you kill your own citizen, that is a criminal government. If ministers in the government and top officials, they embezzle taxpayers' money, that is a criminal government. I'm not the one making it up. As I keep on saying, these are English words you can check. And when I come on this party political broadcast, I'm not here to say things that are not in accordance with the law. Most often, the best way to fight the government of La République du Cameroon is to use their own laws. Use their own laws because they don't read. La République, militants. La République, CPDM chop people their money. The ministers, the governors, the unelected DO, the unelected governor, they don't read. Use their law against them. That's what British Cameroon National Party is doing. A lot of people from British Cameroon are in detention because they say they are secessionists, because they say they want independence, because they say they want self-determination. Ladies and gentlemen, go inside the Constitution of La République du Cameroon. Go to Article 65. It says, the preamble is part and parcel of the Constitution. Then go to the preamble of the Constitution. They say the UN Charter and all the conventions that La République have signed with international organization rather are part and parcel of the Constitution. Article 1 sub 2 of the UN Charter says the people are entitled to self-determination. That you can decide how you want to live, control your house or your own country or whatsoever. That's self-determination. So how can La République arrest the Ayuk Tabe, Seseseko and Co, Ngalim, Mancho BBC, and other people that they are secessionists, that they are calling for independence, when Article 1 sub 2 of the UN Charter, which is part and parcel of the Constitution of La République du Cameroon, says they are entitled to the right of self-determination. That's why British Cameroon National Party believe if we are in power, we have criminal review board. Because when they lock up these people, there's no independent board that can review the case and they can have a retrial. These are things that British Cameroon National Party stands out when we take into consideration other political parties in the Cameroon. The people have a right of self-determination. If you look at the Cape Party in South Africa, they have a referendum party. They want Cape to be independent. They are using what their constitution says, self-determination. Nobody is torturing them in South Africa. Nobody is calling them as secessionists. If you go to France, you go to Flemish in Belgium, you come to United Kingdom, you go to Canada, you go to America, you go all over the world and in Africa. They are political parties that want self-determination and nobody is torturing them, only in the Cameroons. And why? It's because of France. Most countries that fought and had independence, they are somewhere above 50% independence. In the Cameroons, we, the Muna, the Aijo, the Bafoncha, the Bia, they never fought for independence. They killed the people who were fighting for independence, Umnyobe, Felix Mumi, and a host of others. They murder them. France and CNU, rebranded CPDM, they murder all of them with France. Then they take puppets and put them there. And they sign the French Cooperation Agreement. If you look at a country like Algeria, Algeria was part of France. It was not even a colony. France said Algeria was part of France. After they fought, is it First or Second World War? Algeria, they said they want to go. France fought hard with them, committed a genocide. France have apologized. Algeria was not a colony. They say France said it was part of France. So they have citizens. They have to fight a bloody war and say France should go away. After that, France gave them a referendum. And they voted that they have to leave France. They were not colony. France said they were part of France. So it was France territory. They fought hard. But what? After the referendum, France negotiated with Algeria that they still have to give them the petrol. They still have to give them this. They have to respect the citizens who are there. They should give them 3 years. The citizens who are French citizens, original, who are there. Because some parts of Algeria, more than 50-60% were French citizens living in France. When I mean French, Caucasian or Igbo, they own the country, the world. Then they have to negotiate after that referendum. Okay, they say, okay, France will continue to take some of the world for some time, this amount of period. So the reason we cannot develop in the Cameroons is about wealth, it's about oil, it's about gold, it's about our natural resources. And no presidential candidate is addressing this. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not about Mr. Biya is the bad leader in Cameroon. That's not it. They can take any person and put them there. They will do what Mr. Biya is doing because France will put you there and give you the military support. That is what is happening. Tell me which country, how many countries on earth that one man will be so powerful is the judiciary, executive, the judiciary. Name me which country on earth. It's about natural resources. And if we don't stand, we tell France that enough is enough, nothing will change in the Cameroons, my brothers and sisters. Nothing will change. It's not about, to some extent, oh, Mr. Biya is a bad leader. All the things that I'm saying about France, controlling our money, controlling our monetary policy, controlling our interest rate, controlling our... Mr. Biya knows it more than me, Maitre Morales. Aijo too knew more than myself. But the difference is, most people who want to stand as presidential candidate, they know what is happening, but they know they cannot talk like Maitre Mola Alex Nivelisinger, because if you talk, France will stop you. You will not become the president of the Cameroons. You see all those people, I'm not calling their name, you know them. All of them, they are in France's pocket. That's why they don't talk like me, myself. Nobody that will change Mr. Biya will change Cameroons, because France controlled the Cameroons. When they talk about decentralization, it was Macron who talked about it. It was not Paul Biya. President Macron. When they say release Camto, it was President Macron who talked about it, not Paul Biya, who gave the order. When Mr. Biya had major national dialogue, it was organized by France and other parties. And Mr. Biya have to go and give the report to the de facto president of Cameroon, Mr. Macron, in France. So all of us, we know France is running our country. Why are we pretending? Why do we always say it's Biya, it's Biya, it's Biya? Because most of you want your own countryman to go and be president, let you chop. That's what I see. Most of you are not serious. You're not serious. You only talk about who will change Cameroon. Nobody will change the Cameroon. Nobody as things stand until we tell France to leave our country. And my brothers and sisters from La République du Cameroon, why do you blame Anglophones when they say they want to leave? Most of you agree to stay with France. The ship is sinking. You want Anglophones to die with you. We never bargained. We never signed the cooperation agreement with you. Dr. Endeli never signed it. John Guffoncha never signed the cooperation agreement. So why are you forcing us? This is about selfishness. The reason that Somaliland break away was simple. When Somali, they started fighting their civil war, Somaliland just shift a little bit. That's how you do it, without fighting with Somalia. So that's why we of British Cameroon National Party, we have been against the so-called war in Northwest and Southwest, because we knew it was going to end in the hands of armed robber, killers, kidnapper, primitive people. They are primitive. To me, when you sit and chop somebody's head, you kidnap people for ransom, you ask money, it's because you are primitive. If you were enlightened, if you were civilized, you will not do such a thing. When the so-called war started, I made it clear, the videos are there. I was the first person who opposed it. I said, look, it will lead to thieves. It will lead to killing our own people. It will lead to I said it. Some people say, is tribalistic. I don't know if my own tribe, because when I come and talk, my politics is about economical, judiciary, policing, environment, fishery, and other things. I don't come and talk tribalism. If I want to talk tribalism, I love my tribe. I'll go and dance my country dance. That's what I do. That's tribalism. That's my custom and tradition. I love it. So, but when I was talking, but today, the same people who ordered that they should kill people in British Cameroon, they are coming, we have changed. Okay, we want this. We want autonomy. My dear brothers and sisters, assuming all of us, we were in an aeroplane, will you gamble with a pilot? Somebody who will go and do something that he doesn't know, then come back. If we were in that plane, all of us would have gone. So there wouldn't have been second chance. So don't trust any person who once called that they should fight and kill our own people when they were not prepared. Then they go, oh, I understand now. We want decentralization. Listen, I have no problem with any person who wants independence. What I'm against is the so-called war. Because who are you fighting? Are you fighting France? Are you well equipped to fight France? Because you're not fighting Mr. Bia, you're fighting France. Are you well equipped? That's my problem. People will say, oh, maybe independence will not succeed. That's not the problem. Whether it doesn't succeed, all of us will have our dream in our life. You have a right to say you want self-determination, independence. It's your right. It's your political right. It's in the constitution of the Cameroon. Each and everyone should have a right to express themselves politically. Nobody should forbid it. Is it all the dreams on earth that becomes true? Is it? So there's nothing you stand, say, I want independence of British Cameroon. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if you die, it doesn't achieve it, that is your political opinion. So in life, you must not only go for something that is opinion that is achievable. What I mean, don't mistake this, because some people, they will mistake what I'm saying. Now, I'm not in power. If I can fight, they chop people their money, CPDM. They give us Boya University. As an outsider, I've done my best. I'll fight again, I'm not in power. They give us GCE board, that is good. Fight again, they give us multipartism, that is good. I'm not in power. So I cannot control those who are in power. I can only put pressure. Decentralization, they gave us fake decentralization. We force it. We want a parliament in British Cameroon. A parliament where we can decide like Scotland and this. We fight. We are not in power. When we put pressure, chop people their money, maybe with France, they will decide they give us. That's what I'm doing now as an opposition. I scrutinize and hold the government to account, and I give alternative policies. Scottish National Party in Scotland, they want independence, but they are not in power. Labour Party brought decentralization. They stood for election. Now they are running Scotland. So if tomorrow we are not in power, we can stand for local and parliamentary election and win seats. We can be running British Cameroon, but we will run it locally. Then we start fighting. Maybe you want independence. Maybe you don't want it. There are people in British Cameroon who want independence. There are people who don't want it. Once as we have these parliamentary seats, now what do? We start campaigning that they should give us a referendum, whether to remain with La République or to leave. But then you have a mandate. You have parliamentarians who can talk for you, like in Scotland, like in Northern Ireland, like in Wales, like in Flemish in Belgium, like in Quebec. But now, you cannot just sit outside in your living room like me, I stay in London. Oh, I want independence. Who have given you that mandate? Opinion poll don't win elections. You have to stand for election. So my brothers and sisters, start getting ready. And insofar, if we don't see any presidential candidate that's talking about Anglophone, we are not talking federalism. We are talking about equal status. They should recognize us. Because when you talk about federalism, people will talk Southwest, Northwest, 10-state federation, 20 states. That's the game with federalism. We are talking about equal status, that we should recognize the fact that two countries came together. We have different institutions. La République should use their institution. In French Cameroon, we are not talking about independence yet now. We are saying use your ENAM, ENS, ERIC, France CFA, all those gendarmerie, military staff, use it in French Cameroon. Parfoncha said that they never agreed that they should bring gendarme in British Cameroon. And allow us to use our elected governor, our jury system, our policing, not be or gendarme that they brutalize people, they don't respect the constitution, they torture people, which is against the constitution of La République du Cameroon. Allow us to be civilized. We are not saying Northwest joins Southwest or not. We are saying we have a different educational system. We are saying we have a different judicial system. We are saying we have a different policing. We are saying we did not agree to use France CFA or to belong to a French organization called CEMAC run by France. That's what we are saying. We are not talking about Northwest, Southwest here because those are regions. If when it comes to Northwest, Southwest, I want to remain a Bakwe or a Baliman. I'm not interested in Northwest, Southwest. My mom came from Balinyonga. My dad came from Fako. When it comes, I want to remain my two tribes. I'm not interested in Northwest, Southwest. I am interested in La République du Cameroon. Don't use French institution in what you call Northwest region and Southwest region. And when it comes to Southwest, Northwest, I want to remain my tribe. I want to remain my Bakure tribe. I want to remain my Balinyonga tribe. I'm not Southwesterner. I'm not Northwesterner. I'm a British Cameroonian, which some people decided to vote to be with La République du Cameroon on equal basis. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing more, nothing less. So I'm calling on all these people who say they want to be presidential candidate. I'm watching you people clearly. If nobody comes about a solution like that of British Cameroon National Party, if nobody is talking about how we're going to solve the French cooperation agreement, that France control our economic, France is determining our political, socio-cultural orientation, France shall determine our educational system at all levels, France shall manufacture our money, France shall be the first to take our natural resources, and you know the rest. If nobody comes, how we're going to solve it? British Cameroon National Party will put a candidate for the presidential election because we are waiting to see all those who say they want to be presidential candidate. None of them, they are not talking about policies. We are still waiting. We don't want to hear about federalism. Federalism is not going to solve the Anglophone problem. It's going to bring confusion. Equal status. Scotland, the population is not up to that of England. But Scotland and England, they have equal status. Two countries came together. They respect each other. 300 years ago that they came together, they still respect each other. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been a party political broadcast by myself, Maitre Mola Alex Ndiveli Singer, the leader of British Cameroon National Party. Have a great day.
Tout Joseph, commissaire à Los Angeles, comment pouvez-vous nommer un individu à un poste pendant 25 ans? 20 ans, directeur de tac, vous partagez le pouvoir avec vos familles, vous partagez le pouvoir avec vos amis, vous partagez le pays avec vos familles, vous partagez le pays avec vos familles. Et après les attraper. Et après, quand ils ont volé, vous appelez les papiers, les attraper. Qui les avait nommés d'abord dans ce poste-là? C'est toi qui les avais nommés, papa. Tu as oublié, tu as seulement oublié. C'est toi qui les avais nommés.